Alrighty, so this little video right here is about it's about counterattacking what the left would normally, what they're doing to us or trying to do. So this is, I'm trying to keep this short, and so that way it's not like unwatchable. uh, the main goal of what we're looking at is they want us to quit. They want us to throw in the towel. They want us to get so stressed out by trying to keep the fight up that we just can't do it anymore because we're so busy. And in a sense, we are really busy. We're really busy. So I'm not going to take away from what people have to do. I'm not going to say, oh, you got time. I don't know what people's lives entail. But it doesn't take much time to put up a fight. Peaceful resistance, talking about it just to make it a normal conversation amongst people about what's going on. That way you drive a narrative. You accidentally, if you can kind of like intertwine what your knowledge is of what's going on with the demoralization and how things were run out. I don't have to, don't go out there claiming all the stuff that we've been talking about with Arizona and everything, because we've got to sort of win a lot of normies over. So sometimes you have to softball things a little bit to kind of get the quest for information to start rolling. People have to want to know. A lot of times, if they think that there's a situation where they were completely wrong and it's so far to turn around to get back to where you actually get to the right side of things, it can be a little overwhelming for people. So that's why they'll sort of, and pride, they have pride. Pride will get in the way too. But you put those two things together, and a lot of times you'll just see somebody just continue to completely walk off the edge of the cliff, because it's just, it seems like the easier option at this point in time. But if you can kind of like get people to understand that it's not a big deal to put up a little bit of a resistance and a little bit of fight, then you'll start a really awesome movement. It takes a little bit. Nothing's going to happen right away. A lot of what happened and what is currently happening is a scyop against just the American people in general. It's not going to just one person, Democrat or Republican, conservative or Antifa. They're using a method that actually has a broad range of effect. And they is in some of the upper end parts of our elite ran military. Okay? People would say, well, that's not possible. Well, I want you to think about a few things of what is possible and what already has been done. We won't use America, for instance. What we'll look at is, let's say, other countries, for instance. When you have situations where a lot of warfare will take place psychologically before it will physically, because you can minimize your need to have a entrance of force if you can go ahead and take care of some of the natural obstacles, or just things that would be in the way, just that are sort of what you want to call not a threat but just an inert obstacle, which would be somebody that's just sort of voicing an opinion because they've got that opinion. So if you change that opinion, it really makes it a whole lot easier to do what you have to do. And that goes back to my whole thing about the narrative against patriots and people who believe in America. If you can make these people look like awful people, then the ones who aren't going to put up a fight but will be glad to be a part of a system that would favor them, because it would give them a feeling of superiority and a part of a system, or like people like to be part of stuff. People want to be, they love titles, they love to feel important. And so if you can give these little people like this little individual personal jobs that quote unquote save your country, kind of like a 50-cent army in China, or the pinks, they call them the pinks as well. They're like, people that have been indoctrinated so intensely that they don't make any profit off of this, but they're just endowed to the Chinese Communist Party because of what they believe in. It has become a religion. The Chinese Communist Party has become the god. And anybody against that is an opposition, no matter what. No matter if their opinion is right or not. It's an opposition take them out, or have no support while you watch them be taken out. So that makes it a whole lot easier for the opposition to do what they have to do, knowing they don't have the neutral or inert threats. So they broadcast what they're doing across the board of America and allowing people to different people through demographics of where they live, how they were raised, what they think about, are going to react to the same propaganda in different ways. And these people have finited this propaganda to a certain to an extreme certain extent to where they know where to target it. And you wonder what they harvest data. What go? They just what I look at it don't matter. And in all honesty, it probably doesn't have a direct effect on you. But what they do is they use these numbers and data to create a holographic society, and they can control that holographic society. Not, I'm saying holographic as in like they see numbers, graphs, averages, numbers, and graphs, and all these different things put together. They can actually drive a narrative off of what changes through those numbers, through the data they collect, through the financial system, through people's searches, through people's habits, through people's just routines. They gather data there, and then what they do is they'll like almost tap the water and make waves across that water theoretically, and they watch the data, they watch the change in the data, then they can contrast and compare and know where to make the adjustments at. Now, mind you, this doesn't happen overnight. This has been going on for many years. So people would say, well, there's no way they could do that. Well, yes, they could if somebody sits around long enough and does it, which they do. Everything. I'll give you an example. You want to talk about some of the things that people don't realize how they're using this technology. You get on these games like Candy Crush and Bingo, and they had these all these little like simple little games that people get on and play, and they'll play all day. They'll sit there and do this all day long, and they got commercials for how glamorous it is to be playing these games. Like if you're playing these games like Candy Crush and all the fancy stuff, there's just beautiful people. They're just beautiful. Just everything is so perfect. All the colors and the lights, and it's just this is what you need to be doing. Well, the whole time they're doing that, your phone has a camera. If you don't have it blocked, it's watching eye movement. It can detect a lot of different facial features because of the artificial intelligence that has been implemented amongst society. And while you're playing these games, they're feeding every little bit, every little tidbit that you do that you have no idea. It's all subconscious because your AI in your phone can already know when it's time to take a picture by setting it for smile. It can watch for a smile and certain muscle movements, and the picture takes. But that's just a real simple, watered down form of what they're actually really able to monitor. So people are they're playing these like little simple, little stupid games where there's no physical reward. There isn't any skill involved. All it is a measurement of what people will do in a time frame, what they do through endorphins and how they're reacting. All this data is gathered and it's used. Now, my whole long story behind all this is you've got to realize what we're up against, but not be afraid of it. And like people will look at a project that they know they'll buy like a piece of furniture and you have to put it together. They'll set it in the corner because they know it's going to be hard to do. Well, I'll get it later. I'll put this thing together later because it looks hard. There's a lot of screws, and that's what we're up against. But once you start, you realize the reward that you get out of what you're doing. When you start putting that piece of furniture together and you see it starting to form, and you're getting down to your last few screws, and you're booking hard to get it together, and then you ask yourself, why did I wait so long to put this piece of furniture together? It's kind of a personal experience. Anyways, so maybe we can use that in metaphor. So with that being said, what we're up against is a real similar scenario. I on the other hand have decided to do what I'm doing here because this is me starting to put this piece of furniture together. By getting out here and getting this word out here and getting people interested in what's going on. I love mechanicking. It's a big part of my life because it provides me an outlet of accomplishment. Every day that I do something and learn something or figure out something that somebody else couldn't figure out, that's my love of accomplishment. This gives me the same outlet. So I encourage other people to get them a little channel started and start talking. If you get 10 subscribers, can you actually reach 10 people in a day? And if it gets 20, can you reach 20 people in a day? So this is a really good outlet. If I love reporting on what's going on with our people picking process. That is a big deal. But also, This is part of getting the wheels in motion of driving a narrative in the right direction against mainstream media and the beliefs that people have been indoctrinated. And also, it helps the situation at hand to where they're doing every single thing in their power to demoralize us, but it's not working. People wake up every day ready to fight, and more coming up. So, uh, definitely, uh, just do everything you can to remember what we're up against. And although it's not that big of a deal, it's just a piece of furniture. We just got to get it out of the box, start putting it together. And right now the pieces are coming together. We're getting all of our screws. We're getting down to the last little bit. We're going to be in this for a little while longer, and I'm going to be right here with you. Uh, and always try my best on the ground to make a difference. So anyhow, keep the fight strong. Don't be afraid to get your voice out there. Start you a channel. Just start talking this stuff, man. You know, if they take your channel out, start another one. Try your best to just keep getting this word out, whatever it might be. There's somebody out there that needs to hear this so that they can keep them going, because there's a lot of people that do get discouraged, and I understand that 100%. But whenever it comes down to it, we've got to hold the line, pick yourself up, just get in the fight, stay in there, and just a little bit a day. If everybody did just a little bit of that fight a day, this we could nip this in the bud in no time. So anyhow, with that being said, thank everybody for watching this video. Be looking for more content to come out. I'm going to be looking for any evidence that comes out to help our narrative and report on anything, doing the best I can. And God is definitely in control, and He has made things happen. I'm a living proof of that. Thank you, everybody. Thank all y'all. Bye-bye.